It must be Thursday. It must be 1 o'clock because it must be Chop Live. Everybody, what is going on? We are here in West Wyoming.
West side of Wyoming.
With the west side of Wyoming, which I didn't know existed. I do now. I'm here with a very close friend of mine, Dominic, from Magnotta Imports, and also sitting in his family's restaurant, which is called Marianacci's. Did I do it justice?
Perfect.
I said it all right. Okay, I was nervous about the intro on this. Now, before we start and talk wine and talk a little bit about the passion that both of us have for wine and some of your brands, I would like everybody out there to know that it is Uncle Lyman's birthday. Kara, can I use your phone? I don't know if he'll answer. I think he's away. Let's see. I'm going to FaceTime him. Let's see if he's here. Chop Live World.
Another year.
We'll have you guys answer here on Chop Live. Yeah. Lyman, say something to everybody out there.
What's up, Chop Live?
How old are you?
Oh, man. I just posted on social media. I am 42,
Woo.
which happens to be the ultimate answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. So I feel good about this year, 42.
Nice. Well, everybody out there wishes you a happy birthday. I wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. See you, buddy.
All right, don't drink too much wine.
I won't.
All right, love you all. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. We had to do a little side note there. So let's start right off. Let's taste some wine. Let's get right into it. Before we even ask any questions or have a conversation, let's sip the first wine that we presented. What do we have?
This wine is Italy's pride and joy, really. Sangiovese grape. Okay, this wine's put together for us by La Spinetta. Really nice, 100% pure varietal from Tuscany. Typical of Sangiovese. Beautiful cherry flavors, nice medium core, a little bit of spice. Great way to start anything or any day.
That's right, absolutely. Nothing wrong with 102 here in the afternoon. It's perfect time to drink wine. Any time to drink wine.
Good for the heart.
So tell us a little bit more about Magnotta Wine.
Well, I first met Freddie when I was a manager at another restaurant. Freddie had just started importing wine, getting into it, and he was doing tours to Italy pretty frequently. I think he did them for about 15 years prior to that. And on one of these tours, a major producer, La Spinetta, approached him and needed representation in Pennsylvania. So, you know, he kind of bit the bullet, I guess, and checked with his wife first, make sure everything was, you know, would work, and they jumped in, and thank goodness, there's some great wines here. My first interaction with him was a manager at a restaurant, so I started to get familiar with the wines, with the producers, and really started to notice a beautiful quality line here. Freddie goes and picks out small family-run wineries, picks out wines that he thinks, you know, will translate well to Pennsylvania restaurants, Pennsylvania consumers, and does a great job with it. Freddie is in Italy quite frequently, and gets a great opportunity to get in front of these people at their farms and you know, see the grapes while they're hanging on the vines.
Yeah, it was a really cool story. The backstory for Dom and I, how we met, is when you reached out, my wine list, which I work with a lot of people, and I'm very blessed with some great people that know wine. Dominic reached out to me because there was I was in a little void on my list for my old world wines, which Dominic has really been able to bring full circle to me and give me some great red. I think I sell 6 of your wines at the restaurant.
Absolutely.
We pour the Super Tuscan by the glass, which is a huge home run, a magical wine on our by our glass list. And I love old world wines. We talk about this all the time. And I like to break through to that because, as you know, selling wine every day, it's very easy to sell a Pinot Noir.
Sure.
It's very, you can sell a Cabernet in a steakhouse, but to open up a guest's mind and take into the old world, the grittiness, the dirt, the story,
and that's where the connection.
It's a magical connection.
And that's where the connection is. You know, people do have some preconceived ideas, some wines they had before and they love, but when we can talk to them about wineries that have been around for a couple hundred years and really put this quality in the bottle and turn these people onto wines they haven't had, now we have a connection, now we have an experience. We create excitement. Really
now,
gets excitement.
One of the large names that you are part of is La Spinetta. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Sure. Giorgio Rivetti, the owner and winemaker of La Spinetta, is actually the one who approached Fred to take on these wines. They're a cornerstone producer for us. Incredible holdings in Tuscany and Piedmont. We're talking world-class Barolos, world-class Chiantis. There are some very small, lesser-known grape varieties, Colorino, Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, things like this that they put together very, very well and put in front of us.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Get another wine port here. Let's try some more out. I want to tell a story about Dominic. So everybody that doesn't know, I went for my introductory to Somm course. So I went right to Dominic, who is a Somm 1,
Yeah.
correct? Who went through the process and crushed it. So he has a huge passion for wine. So we get to do a lot of tastings. And we tasted a ton of wine. And he really helped me on my journey. And on that journey also was the Wine Spectator Award winning wine list that I now have. So I want to thank you personally for helping me, not only find my passion for much more old world, but also for helping me get that award and growing.
Wine is about sharing in itself, but the experiences, the knowledge, the things that you pick up in any way, shape, or form are best bounced off each other. So it was an incredible experience for me doing that with somebody who's so interested.
Now it's even cooler, like I quickly mentioned at the beginning here, not only are we talking wine, we're sitting in a restaurant. This is so cool. I have a restaurant Lyman and I've had for 7 years. You have to understand, his family is going 48 years at this incredible Italian restaurant.
You're 50 years old in a couple of years.
50 in a couple of years. Now, off camera is his father, who's been great and telling us awesome stories about traveling to Italy. He's a really cool, obviously a local piece here in
Sure.
West Wyoming. So very cool, and I thank you for opening the doors for us here. Tell us about growing up in the service industry at 4 or 5 years old.
Well, with an Italian restaurant, I could tell you anyway, when you're old enough to push a broom and a mop around, your father brings you down the restaurant on your summers off from school. So you get a very quick and good introduction into work ethic anyway. I'll start there because that's where it starts with all these guys. My father and my uncle are are part owners here. They are still brothers, believe it or not, after 50 years, Dad? About 50 years of working in this business. So still brothers, still working hard and here every day. So
awesome.
You pick up a lot of great qualities in a situation like this.
So Lyman and I, we have 43 years left, buddy. So you got to stick around, 42-year-old old geezer.
It will bond you. You'll be inseparable.
Absolutely. What else do you want to open and taste here?
A couple things from the Piedmont. Let's talk about this Nebbiolo.
Perfect. Taste it.
Yeah, La Spinetta does an incredible job up in Piedmont with some Barolos, but this is their Longue Nebbiolo. Beautiful cold weather grape, beautiful cold weather wine.
Now,
Go ahead.
So, when somebody's looking at a wine list and is scared, they go, oh my goodness, what is it, the Brunello, I can't read this, Dominic. I'm scared of it, I'm nervous about it. What do you tell these guests? Hey, work them through it or try it or just give it a try? What's your advice?
Trust in your the restaurant that you're in. Your restaurant owners and your server at the table. Just from working with you guys, I know you guys are very passionate about food, wine, cocktails, and really everything that you guys do there. But trust in them. Talk to your server. Have them bring over someone who might be a little bit more of an expert and understand these wines, because there is incredible juice in a lot of these bottles, and please don't leave it alone because we don't understand what's on the label. Some of these labels can get confusing, especially with Italian wine, French wine, kind of the same thing, but to have somebody be able to interpret that, get it in glass for you, and get you to enjoy it can really be an eye-opener, can be a great experience, and can get you excited about wine as it did for me, and I know
absolutely. And I think the story, for me, for Old World especially, and I love my Cabernet. I mean, I love Cabernets and Pinots. I love them all. But boy, there's something about a Old World story that
very romantic.
I mean, it is.
Some of these Italian producers, Antinori in particular, 600-800 years they've been doing it as far as the family name. So we're talking about a lot of history, and beyond that, 1,000 years back to the ancient Romans. Wine was an everyday staple, really. So it's dripping with history, dripping with romance, and it's great to talk about some of these stories. The owner and winemaker for La Spinetta will tell you first and foremost he's a farmer. These guys farm for grapes. Everything has been organic there before organic was organic. So there's a lot of passion and a lot of reason to get into Italian wine in particular.
Perfect, absolutely. Now, different than our wines here, what do we have going in the corner over there?
Another product for us that is a distilled product. We have some vermouths that Contratto puts together. Contratto is the oldest sparkling wine house in all of Italy. The recipes for the vermouths are 150 years old. All natural products, again, before all natural was a thing. These are the all natural products in here, nothing synthesized. But some great products for the bar. Manhattans or you know, just kind of Sicilian Italian cocktails. Some really great things we can put together with these things. And again, a lot of history just with Contratto themselves.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Now, any novice wine drinkers out there that are nervous? Holy mackerel, what's going on? I don't even know what to do. I've fallen a little bit away from this. I'm curious. I've never asked you this. Meat, red wine. Fish, white wine. I know I can do it. I know it's fine. I've gotten a little bit away from that myself personally, and try to coach away from that. What are your beliefs on that old style? Here's what you drink with. Here's what you drink.
Yeah, there's a lot of you should do this, you should do that. And in that vein, there's no magic formula. You don't need to have white wine with fish. You do not need to have red wine with beef. There are some things that come into play. Something big and full and spicy, like a Nebbiolo or certainly a Barolo, something that's very full, is going to, you know, kind of drown out a little bit something that's lighter. A fish that is very lightly seasoned with a fish that is white and doesn't have a lot going on. So there's some things that you may have to learn for yourself, but there's absolutely no magic formula necessarily. You do want to drink lighter things with lighter things and some heavier things with heavier things, just to be on par. But if you enjoy a certain kind of wine and you're going to have a certain kind of food, go for it. And your mouth will tell you. You say, hey, this just isn't working out. Now you know from personal experience, this is not where I like to be.
Perfect.
So no real magic formula there.
Right. Well, Dominic, let's open one more wine here. Chat about one more wine before we get going here. What do you want to tell us about? Let's go back to your family restaurant. You mentioned that you do a wine tasting here on Thursdays.
Yep.
And how long have you been doing that?
About 5.5 years, coming up on 6 years, and a great opportunity to do that with my sister, Alyssa, who is an employee here. She works here quite frequently, and she's incredible. She is very excited about wine, very excited about our restaurant and our family situation here. So it's been really great for me, and we've been able to build you know, a group of 40 people that come every month. Some regulars, some brand new people, and it gets them introduced to the restaurant, gets them introduced to some of these incredible wines, and it's been a great situation all around. What important for me and Eric is a Brunello.
Oh yeah.
Ciacci Piccolomini. These guys do an incredible job. Their reserve single vineyard Brunello is a 100-point wine. This one is from 2014. Incredible wood presence. This is a super classy wine. This is the kind of wine that you drink with Mr. Eric Noon when he comes to town.
Absolutely. Now we're talking. Oh, look at the color. It's gorgeous.
Spends a good amount of time in oak.
Look at this.
Perfect wood presence here. This wine is beautiful with the steak, and you guys do an incredible job with steaks at the Chop House. Filet, New York strip. You're happy.
Awesome. Happy. Well, everybody, Chop Live Land, this was super exciting. It was super fun for me because of my passion of wine to sit down with Dominic and share that passion with you. I hope it crossed over to the Chop Live family. Come on in the restaurant. Let's sit down. Let's drink some wine. Let's talk some wine. Let's wish Lyman a happy birthday today.
Happy birthday, buddy.
And, you know, good Lord, another 48 years here to Marianacci's here in West Wyoming. Thank you very much. What a pleasure.
My pleasure.
And now Dominic and I are going to drink some wine. We'll see you next Thursday. Chop Live.